you mentioned some of the changes they made, and there's a quite a bit in the book about Susie Wiles' work with him in the period leading up to this campaign. Particularly, you just mentioned the ballot by mail and early voting. As folks who do work in turnout operations, that was the biggest difference for all of us on the ground between 2020 and 2024. How hard was it for her to work that change in him? Because he seems like the ultimate uncontrollable candidate, but she did a pretty remarkable job, at least according to your reporting, of reining him in for this campaign.
I think it's unquestioned that Susie Wiles was a key, if not the key figure in this period that brought Trump back from his pariah status to the nominee and to the presidency. She spent many hours driving back and forth in Florida to meet with Trump, to talk him through what went wrong with his last campaign, help him figure out which staff he should keep around, which staff he shouldn't. And one of the things that I think, we write about in the book is that Susie Wiles didn't always see it as her job to control and manage Trump, but to control and manage the world around him, to be a gatekeeper to the extent that anyone can around Trump, to help keep him on track, keep him focused. And I think it's an overstatement to say that Trump became a disciplined candidate, but his operation, the political apparatus around him, was much more disciplined and organized. It wasn't plagued by the leaking and backbiting and stabbing. There were elements of that, as there were, and there were moments when Corey Lewandowski reemerged and there was tension between Chris LaCivita, Susie Wiles, and Corey and other people. But on the whole, compared to his 2016 and 2020 campaign, it was an entirely different operation.
Remember college? Well, now, college is over, and here comes your student loan debt. Is your private student loan debt keeping you up at night? You really need to talk to YRefi. YRefi refinances distressed or defaulted private student loans that others won't touch. They can save you thousands of dollars and get you a custom payment that you can afford. And they don't care what your credit score is. Don't let private student loan debt ruin your life. Call YRefi today.